Is there any song or is there any like sound or something that you hear and it just like takes you back to your playing days? Because like I think about
Yes, 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 yes.
I think about the Colts game that I went to, and every third down they're playing the Undertaker's bell, right? And the place just going nuts. So are you like working out or just out and about? You hear a song, and you're just like, oh shit, like what's that song?
Yeah.
Where does it take you? Like,
I'd say
kind
there
of
are
curious.
two for me. One I think will be pretty normal, and then the other one you might be a little bit surprised. But the first one I think of would be "Kickstart My Heart," and the reason every time I hear "Kickstart My Heart" is because in Seattle, um, every single game that I played there, if we won the coin toss, which I would love to go back. I don't know if we can find the stat eventually. It seemed like we don't pick, right? We're the home team. It seemed like we batted 90% on teams missing. Like it was wild. It was like we'd have a home game, like they're clearly going to get the coin toss wrong. And they would. And we would always defer because that was how our team was built. That was Pete's MO. And every time it was like, hey, we're going to win the toss. We're going to defer. And he would always, before every single season, Pete would, the first game, would call up, hey, you want to know who sets the tone for this entire team? And he'd be like, first team kickoff, stand up. He's like, this team defines everything that I want us to be this year. I want you to play with your hair on fire. I want you to run down there. If you're the fives, you're causing mayhem. If you're the fours, you're making the tackles. If you're this guy, you're doing that. Play with passion, play with fire, fly down the field. If it's a touchback, it's a sprint to the goal line, and we will time you. And we'll give out like little points, if you will, on a little point chart to whoever gets there first. And then afterwards, we want everybody celebrating touchbacks. Okay. And so you go, as at the time it was called CenturyLink. So I know it's Lumen Field now, but I'm going to call it CenturyLink for the end of this rant that I'm on. Every single game that I played there, you would sit there, we would win the coin toss, we would defer. The place is electric. They would raise the 12th man flag. Okay. And it'd always be like a very cool guest. Didn't always have to be an ex-player, could be whoever.
Yeah.
Local, hero athlete, could be a local scientist, whoever. Okay, someone in the community that was like very well known. And then it was like, so the flag's going up, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, place, kickoff teams out there. You got the strength coach sneaking up behind everyone, putting smelling salt in their nose, the little ammonium tablets. Guys are just going nuts. And then all of a sudden it'd be, and the crowd was that's the beginning of Kickstart. You know what I'm talking? Do you know Kickstart? You do.
You know what? I don't. I don't.
Okay. First, I know it's copyright. I'm just gonna play the very first little thing. So no one knows it's Kickstart.
Yeah.
Okay. That noise right there. Did you hear that one through?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd sit there and it'd be like every single 60,000 crazy Seahawk fans on their feet. Usually it's a light mist. You're playing the 49ers, you're playing whoever. The 12th flag just went up. And I wasn't a kickoff guy. I'm obviously an offensive player. So I'd be on the sideline. And it was like a moment of like the next 3 hours is going to be a fucking epic bloodbath. And it just was like, you were so hyped, dude. Everybody on the sideline worked towards one goal. Like, it was electric. It was absolutely electric. So that would be it.
And what was the second one? You said you had two. You had one that would make sense, and that makes sense. Former Seahawk getting, gets taken back to the home games. Is there what's that second one? I'm a little more curious
about
that one.
The second one was only my rookie year, I want to say. I think they canned it after my rookie, maybe a little bit into my second one. But my rookie year, we would have intros, and the intros would be, or we'd come out of the tunnel, and they would go, and it would be Bittersweet Symphony. So they'd put like a highlight montage on like the little jumbo screen. I know Bittersweet Symphony wasn't like the most pump up song of all time, but as a rookie, I remember this in the sense of, especially my first few games, you would sit there and you're in the tunnel, and you'd always hear, like as a kid, like imagine running through the tunnel, right? In the NFL, imagine running through the tunnel in the NFL. And my kind of route to the NFL was never a guaranteed situation. It was
Yeah.
never like, when you're out of LaSalle, Ontario, they don't crown you in 11th grade and say, hey, you're going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So when I finally got there, that like moment while we're like waiting, there's cameras everywhere, and they're like, you're out in 30. And Chancellor's yelling, that's too long. That's too long. Let us out. I'm like, holy shit. Okay. And then all of a sudden, my rookie year, that got nothing got
crazy.
more amped than Cam Chancellor. He's greatest. He's the greatest. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Screaming at not angry at him, but he's screaming like, that's too long. Let me out. And he was the baddest guy in the NFL. He was finna like somebody out every game. So it's like you knew he wasn't fake either. But anyways, then all of a sudden they would switch and they would just play the beginning of Bittersweet Symphony. So it was like the highlight montage, and they would let the hawk go. So we used to have the hawk that would lead us out first. So it was like this euphoric moment, like, okay, it's all amp, and then you'd hear this. And the hawk would go, and then it'd be like, and you're Seahawks, and it'd be like, I'm like, holy shit, dude. It was like, again, it was kind of hard to like put into words right now. I keep saying like I'm a 12-year-old, but that experience for me as a player and as a young player is something that every time I hear Bittersweet Symphony, I think of being in the huddle as a stupid rookie, 23 years old, eventually en route to a Super Bowl team. Like, holy shit, dude, this is wild. So those are the two that really bring me back.